So another year has come and passed, and movies have been popping off this year. I've been honestly quite surprised by the amount of movies that have really entertained me this year. I watched a total of 22 movies at the cinemas, probably the most I've watched in a long time. Now before we do my top 10 best movies, I want to give my top 5 worst films of the year because there are 5 films that I did not like. Number 5, Beetlejuice 2, a very disappointing sequel, some cool cinematography but a really rushed plot, very boring, very sluggish, not good at all. The song scene at the end was just absolutely obnoxious. Number 4, Gladiator 2. Just a rehash of the goated Gladiator 1. Cool VFX, but the story was so bland and the characters were not interesting at all that I just found my mind wandering at times. Number 3, Conclave. Yes, it's critically acclaimed, but I was bored throughout the movie. I just wanted it to be done. I was so bored and tired throughout the entire movie. It felt so sluggish, the pacing was slow, and it took ages for the story to go somewhere. Number 2, Red One. Such a boring hallmark of a movie that could have been released back in 2006. I will give it credit, it is original, but not a good original movie at all. The acting was not good at all. It was kind of bad, dude. But number 1 is Joker 2. I did not like this movie at all. It felt like a betrayal over the first movie. The first one was so good. Yes, I know that this Joker isn't the Joker, but why did you call this movie the Joker? Just call it Arthur Fleck, who inspired the real Joker. The court scenes were so badly written and badly paced that it completely destroyed the flow of the movie. The song scenes were obnoxious and annoying. Yes, visually impressive, but gosh, I wanted them to end at times. The movie left a sour taste in my mouth. With that out of the way, let's do my honorable mentions, the movies that couldn't make the top 10. So essentially my movies from number 20 to number 11. My Hero Academia movie 4. Cool action scenes, but the story was kind of slow and not very tightly written. See my full review for that. Venom 3. Actually, the final act was very entertaining. The action scenes were cool and Eddie and Venom had a pretty emotional moment towards the end, but the first 2 acts were bad. Kraven the Hunter. I know a lot of people hate this movie, but I actually thought it was fine. It was okay in my opinion. I was entertained by what I was seeing. Moana 2. Not as good as the first one, but the animation is still there. It's still cool. Some of the song scenes are really fun. I think the song moments are the best part of the movie. Paddington 2. Mate, I miss Sally Hopkins as Mrs. Brown. If she was in this movie, it would have been in my top 10, but because they replaced her with a new actress, it was too distracting and I couldn't get into it as much, but it's an okay movie. The worst out of the 3, but still fun to watch. Deadpool and Wolverine. Very intense high-octane action sequences and very fun cool cameos. The best 15 minutes in any MCU movie I've seen, but the movie overall just felt very predictable and very corporative studio, fast food-esque type movie. It wasn't good or bad, it was just okay in my opinion. The worst Deadpool film out of the 3 of them in my opinion. Mufasa. The story was okay, but the Rafiki, Timon and Pumbaa scenes cutting in were so distracting and I didn't like it. Also, the visuals just seemed kind of bland to me. CGI animals looked realistic and cool, but the color was so desaturated, dude. Heretic, a very spooky, creepy film that I do recommend people to watch. A lot of crazy twists and turns, but it does drag on for a bit. Wallace and Gromit, Revenge is Most Foul. A great way to bring back these characters again. Cool stop motion animation. Story is fine, it's a typical Wallace and Gromit film. And We Live in Time, the best out of all the honorable mentions. The 2 romantic couple characters are wholesome, they have a lot of really heartfelt scenes. It can be cringy at times in my opinion, but it is a heartwarming movie. Go check it out. But with that out of the way, let's talk about my top 10 best movies of the year. Number 10, Buffalo Kids. A charming tale. I was honestly quite surprised by how well written and mature this movie was, especially for a kids movie. I loved all the characters, the adventure was gripping and exciting, and the animation was really dazzling, giving Pixar Studios a run for their money. Number 9, The Wild Robot. A heartwarming tale with breathtaking animation and a gorgeous story, with it being a commentary on global warming essentially. This movie is a combination of WALL-E and Over the Hedge. People were raving about the movie and they were right. I was absolutely swept away by this film, and the voice acting was on point. I was just stunned throughout. While it made over 300 million, I do wish it made more because it deserved it, but it is a big success with the budget of only 78 million. Number 8, Dune Part 2. A huge improvement over the first one. While Dune Part 1 was more of a political drama, Dune Part 2 serves as an action-packed sci-fi space opera. The characters are well developed, the IMAX scenes are breathtaking, Timothée and Zendaya are amazing lead characters, and it's interesting with the way it sort of ended. You think, oh boy, where is this movie going? You just want Dune Part 3 to come out sooner. Some shocking revelations that truly stumped me, and some really unexpectedly funny scenes, which were able to balance out the intense intense drama. Final fight scene, oh my gosh, I was gripped. But what happened in the end? Oh my gosh, how could that character do that? Number 7, Transformers 1. Hot take, but I loved the first 3 Transformer movies with Shia LaBeouf. I grew up with them, big part of my childhood. Once LaBeouf leaves, I lose interest and I think it goes downhill, and they are bad movies. Until now, Transformers 1 is pretty much a fan's dream come true, staying true to the original designs and writing a really unexpectedly mature narrative of how two friends become bitter enemies. There are some scenes in this movie that were honestly kinda hard to watch. I got pretty damn emotional seeing some of those moments. We all know that Optimus Prime and Megatron are going to be enemies, but man, the way it happened in this movie, I got really sad. Animation is fantastic. The lighting and designs look so realistic that you almost could say that it looks live action. Chris Hemsworth did a great job at replacing Peter Culling and being faithful while also bringing in his new flavor to the role. Number 6, Inside Out 2. Not only is this one of the best Pixar sequels, but there were moments in this movie which I preferred over the first movie. With Riley being older, it creates a series of really entertaining moments. Unlike the first movie, Riley feels more like a human compared to how she felt like a robot being piloted by these cartoony creatures. A certain character in the movie says, as you get older, you feel less joy. That broke my heart when that character said that, because it's true. I love how they don't sugarcoat anxiety. They learn to acknowledge it and to try and deal with it in a great way. Animation and story were phenomenal. Number 5, Sonic 3. Without a doubt, the best Sonic movie in the franchise. The fight scenes were the best parts of the movie. Oh my gosh, I was blown away by all those action sequences. So many cool Easter eggs and really great story elements. The characters feel so much more mature over the first 2 movies. It cuts down the human characters, which I liked because I preferred the Sonic characters and Eggman, and Shadow was badass. Keanu Reeves did a great job. Jim Carrey was also quite entertaining, and he did a great job at playing 2 characters at once. It gave me Dr. Doofenshmirtz vibes from the Phineas and Ferb Second Dimension movie. Ironically, this is without a doubt the most serious yet also most funniest Sonic the Hedgehog movie out of the 3 of them. I watched it twice and I was still entertained. In fact, I liked it more the second time around. Number 4, Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim. Now, I know a lot of fans are quite mixed on this movie. Some like it, some hate it, but I absolutely love this movie. Hera is such a well-written, feisty, brave warrior who puts others first and is always the first one to call out anyone's bullcrap. The rest of the characters in the movie all feel so real. They're not all good and all bad. Very morally grey these guys are, and it makes for a lot of great, interesting, entertaining scenes. Some scenes in fact are quite hard to watch and very emotional in my opinion. The animation, while the first 15 minutes is a bit hit or miss, it truly ramps up and it gets even better towards the second and third acts. Those action scenes were amazing. Number 3, Wicked. I didn't know anything about this stage play. I saw the first Wizard of Oz film many years ago and I loved it. I was just stunned by all the performances, particularly Ariana Grande. I mean, this girl is pretty funny, dude. Very entertaining and has a lot of laugh out loud moments. Cynthia Erivo has an amazing voice and you really feel for Elphaba. I was so frustrated by all the people, especially her family, for treating her like an alien. I was quite surprised with her sister, Nessa Rose, actually being embarrassed by her at times. You would have expected her to defend her at times, but no. Yes, it's frustrating, but it shows that she is a real person with conflicting thoughts and emotions. It's a long movie, but I didn't feel the runtime. I was thoroughly entertained, loved all the songs, and I rewatched it. A very fun film, but also has a lot of drama in, which I didn't expect. Looking forward to part 2. Number 2, we have Lee. This movie blew me away and I was very emotional. Some of these scenes were difficult to watch, dude. They were intense. The way they were filmed, the way they were shot, the way they were acted. Oh my gosh, dude. You felt like you were in these locations at times. This might be Kate Winslet's best performance in my opinion. Just a gritty, grounded drama. But number 1, this movie absolutely blew me away. It shocked me. It left me speechless and it left me entertained in some way, and that is without a doubt The Substance. I mean, you guys have to see this movie. I can't talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it was a roller coaster of emotions. My gosh, dude, I to this day cannot stop thinking about it. I am scarred by what I saw on the screen. The acting so good. It's so cinematic. It's so well shot. The soundtrack, the music, the sound effects, everything. I won't say any more. Go watch it right now. It is without a doubt the best film of 2024. But that's it. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys think of this ranking. Do you agree or not? Tell me. Like and subscribe for more videos, but thank you for watching, and as always, a boy do the view signing out.